Dalai Lama persuaded the United States Congress to support the nonviolent measures outlined in the 5-point peace plan. First, the Dalai Lama proposed that the whole of Tibet become a zone of ahimsa, a Hindi term that means a state of peace and nonviolence. Second, the population transfer of Chinese people into Tibet, pursued by the Peking government to force a final solution to the Tibetan problem, must stop. Then, fundamental human rights and democratic freedoms must be respected in Tibet. Fourth, Tibet's natural environment must be restored and not used by China for production of nuclear waste and arms. And fifth point is that negotiations between the Tibetan and Chinese people should start in earnest. The Dalai Lama's unyielding, violent approach to peacefully solve China's illegal occupation exemplifies man's ability to utilize compassion, patience, and hope for the sake of all parties involved and their generations to follow. The Dalai Lama's persuasive methods stem from his appeal towards your understanding of freedom from tyranny, which as Americans is every person's battle, whether that tyranny exists in your country or another nation. Compassion for the oppressor is a force utilized by the Dalai Lama that offers the opportunity to end the fight for freedom and to usher in a state of lasting, meaningful peace and friendship. And now, next, Fritzi will share communication concepts from the book.
As a Buddhist monk, he personifies mindfulness in everything he does. In his book, The Open Road by Pico Iyer, the author interviews Dalai and asks him about his ceaseless traveling around the world and meetings with politicians. To me, he said, I treat every human being, whether high official or beggar, no differences, no distinctions. It is obvious from this passage that he exhibits culture intelligence. He is a man who is vested in his religion and culture, but does not hold an ethnocentrism view. This also offers his use of ethos. He treats his listeners with respect and dignity. A more clear depiction of his ethos is in an intro of his 5-point peace plan. He states, I speak to you as a leader of the Tibetan people and as a Buddhist monk devoted to the principles of a religion based on love and compassion. Above all, I am here as a human being who is destined to share this planet with you all as brothers and sisters. He is a man of goodwill and appeals to the greater good of his country and not to that of his own. He is a master of analyzing his audience, always maintaining an audience-centered approach. His attitudes are based on his beliefs. He adapts every speech to his target audience. His 5-point peace plan is formal, since he is directing it to the U.S. Congressional Rights Caucus, whereas the mosquito speech that I will show to you in just a moment is given to his Buddhist peers and is very informal, which I will introduce to you now. This is a very funny clip. It's kind of just to show how he incorporates humor into his speeches, and just take a look. And if Lorena, you'll speed it up a little bit.
You want happiness. You do not want to die. You do not want even mosquitoes' pain. I don't know what. But sometimes I really find difficult to say dialogue with mosquito and my pain. So, as I mentioned, it's mosquito. Mentally, sometimes I feel, oh, let give some blood. If that, you see, no malaria. If I'm sure, no malaria.
Lorena, you'll cut that out.
That one, you see, first mosquito comes.
So that's just to give you a taste of his speaking style. And overall, he is an extremely effective speaker. He is not your typical podium speech type of guy. He is non-conventional in his ways. His usual stance and posture is sitting before his audience on a pillow with his legs crossed. He almost always speaks extemporaneously and strives to be natural. His style is direct and vivid, and often uses metaphors or similes to convey his message. To gain audience attention, he uses the universal language of humor.
In review, I would like to summarize the key information we have elaborated on. First, George introduced the reasons why we chose Dalai Lama, the 5-point peace plan. Then I gave a brief summary of the elaborate and how to become the Dalai Lama. Next, Eon, the significance of the 5-point peace plan. And finally, Fritzi demonstrated communication concepts from our textbook and lecture. Not only does this effective speaker have the ability to inspire us to become better communicators, it also inspires us to elevate our sense of unity. He inspires us within hope,
Compassion.
Patience. And very, very important, humor.
So now we can all take these universal qualities and weave them into how pervasive and interact in this world. Thank you.